universal treatment science with ICA, SAPTA and NACADA. NACADA mnajua sio?
Yeah.
NACADA. And she is a Rotarian from Rotary Club of Rongai. A new Rotarian from Rotary Club of Rongai. And she creates awareness through various Rotary clubs in Nairobi and its environment. And so, help me invite Shamita Omote with in applause. Karibu Shamita, finally you're here. Take the floor.
Thank you. Before I take the floor, first of all, I want to apologize for being late because I got the time.
Yes.
No.
That's why it's here.
Okay. So I apologize because we were delayed in that Syrian Ngong they are building, and we had no idea that they had started building because I'm coming to Ngong after 3 months. So we delayed. Secondly, I came with Rotarian Jarvis from Ongata Rongai. Yeah. He is our director for media, PR. Okay. And thirdly, and the first thing actually, I came with my husband, Mr. Omote, who is always with me like we can't be separable. Only sometimes we are. Inseparable, sometimes we are separable. And that is 28 years. He's a lawyer by profession, and he's also come to study. He teaches in down South Africa. He's actually in his sabbatical study, but he's also an addiction trainer. So we work together. Now we have been introduced, so I can start, I think.
Yes.
Thank you, Prezo, for calling me, and thank you all of you for coming. And I want to thank you, my friends here. Of course, they are Rotarians, Piku Mangat, and you know him, of course. And my friend Runa Shamita, we share the same name. There is only one name in front of her, which is not. Yeah. So thank you so much for coming. Now I want to talk about ICAP. ICAP is International Certification for Addiction Professionals. We are under ISAP. ISAP is International Substance Use Professional Worldwide. And we are certified because we can work anywhere in the world. And it is like a level of studies, like you do CPA or this accounting thing you do, or this arbitration, which my husband knows he has done. There is a level that you go. So once you have given that exam, now you are good to go for international presentations and even for treatment. So I have to sit, and I'm very sorry because this thing, if there was something which was high, I could have stood, but now I have to sit. But there's nothing much to see that I didn't see it. So today I want to talk about addiction because, so I have done addiction science and as my subject when I did my studies. Addiction science talks more on chemical dependency than and also the psychological part. But more thrust is on pharmacology. I don't know you know about pharmacology. So it's more on chemical dependency. What happens when chemical goes into the brain? Now when we talk about addiction, before I go ahead, we know that this is October is a month of mental health, and as we work with addiction, we see a lot of mental health issues today. And you see, we see a lot of suicide. 4 years old are taking drugs. We had a NACADA's finding. I worked with NACADA and International Substance Use Professionals, Kenya chapter. And we see that even 4 years old are ingesting drugs. And because they are ingesting, not because only of that, but because of many other behavioral issues, many of them are today committing suicide. You understand? Like the other day in Ongata Rongai, in fact very close to where he stays, my Rotarian friend here from Rongai. Somebody 15 years old just hanged himself and committed suicide. Finished. Yeah. Why is it happening like that? So we'll go a bit fast and I will talk about generally what is addiction. Addiction is a preoccupation and anticipation, and it is a persistent desire. So there is both biological and social factor. Biological is actually 40% and social is actually 60%. Now biological is mostly predisposed. You can't do much about the biological part of it because it's predisposed. Psychiatric help can be done. Social is where we come in because it's more of environmental, you understand. So it depends on how this person is occupied with that. Psychological issue, psychological problem, then comes the preoccupation, then comes the binging. I know that drinking is good. Many people tell me, you know what, drinking is so good. I say, yeah, it is good. Yeah? But what will happen later on? A friend of mine just called me as we were coming. The brain has shrinked. Yeah, it's called atrophy. Brain shrinks. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Any doctor here? Okay.
That lady.
Which lady? Who?
Pharmacist.
Oh, okay.
Pharmacist.
Okay. So what happens is when the ingestion is so high and the tolerance is so high in the body, there has to be withdrawal. You understand? If you don't take, and if you don't take, definitely a time will come when you cannot manage to stay at all because you need it. You understand? So there will be withdrawal, and there will be also social and occupational problem, recreational problems. Social skills are very much, because this person wants to stay all by himself and doesn't disturb me, what, and so on and so forth. So this is just of course the personal is there, that is more of the emotional, the psychological, you understand. So this case study I was telling you, the mother is calling. Why is the mother calling? The young man cannot do anything, his brain is shrinked. So once the brain gets shrinked, you wonder what will happen. This person cannot really, he's like in a vegetative state, and that's what happens to people who drink for a long time of time, because of the duration. So addiction is actually a disease. And why I am so much into prevention now, because I'm now a new Rotarian, of course. Actually, I'm not a new Rotarian. I've been going to that Rotary. It's only I was deciding which club I should be. And finally, I decided let it be Ongata Rongai because I stay in Ongata Rongai. Yeah? I was thinking of going to where the Muindis are. You understand? You know, even if I'm married, I'm still Muindi. I'm not leaving them. Yeah? So, I was thinking, let me go to a club where there are more Muindis. But later on, somebody advised me, don't do that. Yeah? Go to where your husband's people belong. They also need to know more. And then, what made me to bring to what are those four, what? The 4 pillars of, or the focus areas?
Six.
Yes. And out of that, I was expecting one here because I've still not learned it. One of them is the prevention and the treatment focus in the Rotary. You know, we need to do a lot of prevention because our people are actually, there will be a generation. Yesterday I was with my husband in one academy in Kitengela, after Kitengela. And 9 years old children are saying we are using drugs. 9 years. And they are talking things that you will wonder. Even the principal and the director is asking me, but they have never asked us. They said, well, you called me, so now they are asked. You understand? So what is addiction? Addiction is a chronic, relapsing, progressive disease of the brain. It is not a brain disease. It is a disease of the brain, meaning it's progressive. It relapses. It really is a disease. It's a progressive disease. It is actually dependent. This person is chemically dependent. Cannot do without, it must do serious drinking and drugging because it begins from there. So it has a frequency and it has a duration. It also is comorbid. Comorbid means it does not have only the issue of drug intake. It also has some behavioral addiction. Because addiction is 2 types. One is behavioral and one is substance abuse. You understand? So it has a progression path. Somebody who is a good gambler might progress towards like I have a case in the clinic right now. This guy we detoxed, he said he's an alcoholic. Now we have come to know that he's even a gambler. You understand? So whatever he earns, 50,000, he just puts it and gets 150. So he puts another 150, he gets another 200. So that is also called now. So there are 2-3 comorbidity means 2-3 things together. 2-3 behavioral, drug abuse, maybe health issue, HIV, like those who are heroin addicts, they have HIV, okay, or tuberculosis. And the incident rate is much higher than men. I mean, higher in men than women, because you know when women drink, 1 glass is enough. But I hear they take more. But why? Because the water level is very low in women than in men. So if we take 1 glass, men can take 3 glasses and still they will be fine. You understand? That's what we are trying to say here. So drug use is linked with increased chance of mental illness, and you know in our country mental illness is a big problem. I think you all know it, yes? What is happening? Somebody is climbing the wall with a what? With a spear, wants to kill somebody. You understand? Somebody is just going berserk, and it is in every place, like for now, when people are being laid off. I was called by a bank to come and help them. They are being laid off. How do you help them? They are going through trauma. They are losing their jobs. So where are they going? You understand? So now that there is a need of help. So schizophrenia, depression, anxiety. Okay? Whatever is the reason, drug use has a serious consequence. I will now go to behavioral mode. So we did the substance. Now this is behavioral. Now when we talk about behavioral addiction, refers to several mental health conditions in which a person will engage, particularly behavior. And remember, they are using the same brain. We are not having 2 brains, we have only 1 brain. So there is only one pathway, the neural pathway. So once the brain forges a new pathway, because basically addiction is a reward of the, a disease of the reward system. Now you are seated here, you are happy to hear it. What is happening? The reward system is giving us an information, isn't it? You are hearing, learning, you understand? So, but when drug comes in or any other behavioral issue, it inhibits it. It does not give that information anymore. So the information is inhibited, and once the information is, that is now addiction. So behavioral causes harm, and it is also, you cannot resist. Have you seen children today? I was just going for a training somewhere last Friday, and on the elevator, the father has a small phone, smartphone, but the children have a big phone, and the father is encouraging. And I know the person because he's a lawyer in one of the place. So telling the children, continue. What are they continuing? Then because I was very curious, what are they continuing? I'm looking at it. Somebody is playing video. You see, is engaged. Cannot even come out of it. Video. They cover yourself and then you do the video. Like pornography. Nowadays, pornography is also a behavioral addiction. You understand? You cannot get out of it. It's like a trap. Addiction is what? It's a trap. And you are like in a trap. You cannot come out of it. You try as much as you want. Then you start to deny and say, oh, everything is fine. There's no problem. Somebody told me recently something like that I want to come out, but I can't come out. I am unable to come out because it's like a trap. So it is very harmful, and it starts with experimenting. And behavioral addiction, in addiction science we call it a process, because it's a thought. It's to do with thought processes. So that is a thought process addiction. So now what we will see is the age to addictive behavior. As we have put here 10, but this one I did not change because you can go to it is in the public domain in NACADA. 4 years old, this is the new finding. 4 years old are now ingesting drugs. 4 years old. Drugs are in everything. Even ugali has drugs, rice has drugs, meat has drugs, chocolate has drugs. Everything is cooked with drugs. So we cannot just say that what the finding is true. Just go to the Nakata's public website, you will see it is there, the new finding. So why does it start? One of the issues is family problem, dysfunctional homes, okay, where mom and dad are not there, where they are separated, maybe where they are divorced. Then trauma. Childhood trauma is one of the biggest cause of mental health problem today. Because that child has gone through so much and there has been no help at all. So childhood trauma. Then abuse, then neglect. Yesterday where we were, a child came and said that my mom and dad beats me like anything when they come. How old is this girl? 9 years old. Why? Because I have to do everything at home. I have to wash, what I was just sharing with him. Everything. And then, why? You don't have a nanny to take care of in your home? No, we have. But she wants me to be responsible. That's not how to make a child responsible. I also have 2 sons. I've never made them responsible like that. So I don't know. Yeah. So chronic family, and the girl is completely withdrawn. She cannot even concentrate, and she cannot even think. She as the time I was asking, so are you scared of the time that you are now almost going to close the school and go home? She said yes, and she's panicked. She's eating, see, domestic violence, chronic family dysfunction, feeling of that. So if there is unmet needs with the children, and that when I first came to Africa, my husband told me something. Yeah, he told me, children are supposed to be seen but not to be heard. I said, who said that? In our community, we hear them like anything. Yeah. Then I told him, we will hear our children like anything. Yeah, and see them later, but we will hear them. Okay. So it's just a joke, but I'm just trying to say that is what is happening. When we are not hearing our children, what is happening to our children? They have unmet needs. Who is going to hear them? Who is going to hear them? When they go out and hear friends outside, what is going to happen to them? They will hear all wrong things. Huh? So when painful or frightening things happen, addictive behavior may present a much needed escape because they want to run away from the realities. You understand? So what is the availability of substance? Snuffing, huffing, household product, glue, jig, soap, nail polish remover. There's a guy who came from a big school here in Nairobi, and principal called him and told me, you must check with this grade 4, grade 11 or 12. What's the problem? He wrote a love letter to his teacher. He is 15 years old. That I want to have sex with you. And when they climb the stairs, he pats her back. And then the lady does not, she's an old lady, she's a head teacher. And then, why, when they came to me, I asked, why is it happening like this? He said, I see this happening. Young ladies are having old men, and old men are having. So I understand, yeah? So she got it. He saw it in movie and he found it to be right. So who is going to correct him? It is the parent. Parents don't have time. He even told me, this man, why has he come? That's the father. Why has this man come here? I don't want to see him. He's never seen in home. What is he doing? I don't want to talk to this man. What is this man doing here? And the father is just seated there. I don't want him. I want mom. I don't want this man. I said, this is your biological father. Yes. I don't want him. He doesn't have time for me. So, genetic, we have this issue of this NAS, narcotics, like biological is if the parents are ingesting drugs or taking alcohol, they are taking from the fetus, the babies, and that is called fetal alcoholic syndrome, or NAS, that is narcotics, narcotics, I've forgotten the name, NAS is fetal alcoholic, that is narcotics, some things. Okay, I'll come to it, syndrome. So what happens? This child, I did training last year, is it in 2017 in Gatru? And I was taken to the children's department. Children who are wriggling and children who are shouting, screaming, and not 2017, it was in 2017, no, 2018, yeah, 2018. And then I was told, what's this happening? I said, it's because maybe these parents, you need to probe a little more and find out if they were alcoholics or they were drug addiction or whatever. And they found that it is true. Oh, I'm finished. I have only 10 minutes. That's great. So, I will be very fast. So, teens and emotions. So, that is a syndrome that people have. You will have to add me some little more time, just a little more time. So, fast. So, it can be a biological thing right from the womb. You understand? To the conception. And then the emotional and intellectual developments have a problem. There is risk because of addictive behavior. And then there is this. And then, because addiction is a progressive disease, it will develop from young age, and it's recommended that you take them for treatment or help. You understand? Examples of process addiction is digital, internet. You can see them. Because of time, I will not read it. You are already reading it. Gambling. Now, of course, the gambling has somehow come to an end. 76% in Kenyan geopol. We found that gambling is the best in Africa is Kenya. Shopping, then gaming addiction, kleptomania. There is a guy who came to my clinic, not now, in the early 2019, and his issue was only one, that he is a kleptomanic. That is his behavioral problem, behavioral addiction. So when the father told me, do you know what he has stolen from the shop? And the father is a very big man in the government, in securities. Ask him. So I asked him, what is that? I have